Alex Strofe and Kyle Wallace. Here's Good Karma Brands founder and CEO Craig Karmazin.
Welcome to Sunday Karma across ESPN Wisconsin. No Craig Karmazin today, although we might get a brief appearance from him. Apparently, maybe. We shall see. Greg Scalzo, Alex Strofe, Kyle Wallace. 3 out of 4 ain't bad. 3 out of 4 ain't bad here. Sunday, March 1st. It is March for the big college basketball fan.
Go.
At ESPN Milwaukee.
Turn my mic on.
When people think of college basketball on ESPN Wisconsin, they don't think of Ben Brust. They think of Alex Strofe.
Well, they should think of Ben Brust because starting tomorrow, March Mode, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, the KBN podcast, the Mr. Irrelevant podcast. Me and Ben Brust going to talk college basketball twice a week through the end of the tournament.
There you go. So when people think college basketball, they think Alex Strofe. But when people think Alex Strofe, they think the Strofe Combine. For those that might not have been paying attention, or I know not everybody, right, who is a fan of ESPN Wisconsin, who consumes our content, is active on social media. I think there certainly is a generational aspect to that. There's a consumption habit aspect to that. And so I'm sure people have heard this being discussed on KBN, on other programs as well, where Alex Strofe, the strapping 27-year-old man sitting in front of me, goes through different combine drills the way that they do in the NFL Combine, which ends today, I believe, in Indianapolis. Today is the final day of the NFL Combine, where some of the greatest athletes in the country come together to show.
Just had to throw that part in there.
Show their talents and their measurables, right? Run the 40, do the 3-cone drill, do the bench, do the vert, broad jump, all those things that ultimately Brian Gutekunst uses to determine who he should draft, because he clearly doesn't watch tape or any football. He just looks at what their combine scores are and decides off of that, like he's playing Madden as a 12-year-old. We'll get to that a little bit later on. But I want to stay to the Strofe Combine here, because earlier this week, after you, I think, blew everybody away with your performance last year, particularly in your 3-cone drill and your 40-yard dash, where many people have never seen another human being move in that sort of way. Fast forward to this year, where we know that you've been training, we know that you've been preparing, and all of a sudden, you knew it was coming for a full year, and you went viral again.
Yeah.
And when I say viral, I mean it wasn't about the 3-cone drill, which you still, I think, got roasted for.
That still got 1 million views.
Really? I just have been focused on the one.
So there 3 of the videos got over 1 million views on Twitter.
All right. So Strofe is probably getting close to 7 or 8 million total views, maybe close to 10 million total views on this year's Combine. But the one that sticks out the most was the bench press, which is a new Strofe Combine event this year.
Not great, yep.
It started at, now for context, right, when it comes to NFL players, they bench 225 and 225 pounds, and they're based off of how many reps they can do, right? So could you do 20 reps at 225, 25, 30 reps? They put that down to 135 for you to start. You couldn't do the 135.
Correct.
And then they were like, all right, let's get a much more manageable weight. And they put it to 95 pounds.
Yeah.
And you weren't able to get it up for one rep at 95 pounds, so they went down to 65 pounds, 75. To which it said 65 on the social post.
Ben Brust orchestrated a lie. It was 75. There's 15 on each side. Not great. Still not good. I don't know why I'm defending.
75 pounds, you were able to get up. And so you had a moment of contemplation, which doesn't happen that often. You looked at yourself in the mirror and said, you know what? Maybe this is time for a change. I was very proud of you. You went to the gym on Friday. I thought these guys were kind of mean to you, although I do think you were mean to Kyle. Kyle was just trying to help you out on Friday during KBN.
Been a jerk all week.
He was trying to help you out. after you went through your routine at the gym, and he said you were treating it like a playground.
Which wasn't unfair. It was not unfair.
But you started your workout journey on Friday, and then yesterday you went to work out with Will, one of our teammates, and I presume today you also went to go and work out.
I'm going after the show today.
Okay, so how was your workout yesterday?
Well, you did this on purpose. I didn't go yesterday. It didn't happen. I did yoga instead.
You a damn lie.
What do you mean?
You don't need yoga. You need steroids. You need gym. You need pump.
I do need steroids, probably.
Why didn't you go? I thought Will told me on Friday that he was taking you to the gym.
Yeah, he did. He did. I woke up yesterday at about 8 o'clock, and I tried to roll over, and nothing worked. I couldn't move my arms, which were still sore somehow from Thursday.
From putting up the 75 pounds one time?
Yeah, but I was at emergency break, right? Because I was trying to lift other things, and I did a couple other things. But yeah, no, my arms are still sore.
Today?
Yeah, I'm going today. I'm going to push through it today. But yesterday, I could barely move my arms. So I texted him. I said, I don't think I could do anything productive.
So this is a real question.
Yeah, I understand.
I'm not trying to be mean.
Well, the fact you have to preface it with that makes me think it's going to be mean. Go ahead.
I want to know on Thursday.
Yeah.
How many reps did you do actually bench press, including the warm up with the bar? Because the bar is just 45 pounds.
Kyle,
so when you combine the bar,
not a lot.
Failure at 135, the failure twice at 95, I believe, and then the success at 75. How many reps did you do?
Not that many.
No, did you do more?
10?
I don't think so.
And your arms are still sore. 3 days later.
That shows you what we're starting at. This is the rock bottom.
Kyle, are we worried at all that he just is never going to be able to overcome being sore?
This is rock bottom.
Just like a basic soreness where you could stretch.
I feel good today. I'm still a little sore, but I feel like I can actually move my arms today.
Did you?
So yesterday must have been a dark day for you, huh?
Yeah, it was rock bottom.
Yeah,
I thought Thursday was rock bottom. I think yesterday was rock bottom, and I think Will now hates me.
Stroh said he said he's gonna work out nonstop. Homer was offering us $1,000 in a bet. He said this can't be real.
Well,
this can't be real. He said he can lift. He'll try. Homer's offering $1,000 to train him. Homer would have been so disappointed to find out less than 12 hours after he was excited about trying to train you. You literally mailed it in and said, I'm too sore.
It wasn't to mail it in because I wanted to go.
48 hours after you did 8 reps on your arm.
And I just said, look, I can't do anything productive. I could show up if you want, but I'm not going to be able to do anything.
So there was nothing you can do?
No, I could barely lift my coffee yesterday morning. It was so bad.
Could you do cardio? You couldn't run? Because your legs were sore from your calf raises?
What's with you and being anti-calf?
Just the idea that you're I'm going to get jacked, and you start like Johnny Drama and Entourage. You're I'm going to work on my calf raises is an absurd place to begin. Is it not, Kyle?
It certainly is.
The calves, honestly.
Wake up and do 50 push-ups.
Yeah.
Some, go old school. Go Army. Go do some push-ups and some sit-ups and some wall sits.
At least Anthony's got my back on YouTube. He says, to be fair, the second day after your very first workout is the worst day, which was yesterday from Thursday. So
No. Your very first workout was Friday. Thursday was not a workout.
Sure it was.
You didn't get it up more than 10 times. That's what she said.
What'd you just say?
I did it. That's what she said.
You couldn't get it up more than 10 times. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's smiling.
Now he's
happy. That's his wheelhouse, not actually working out.
Not working out. You want to know his wheelhouse, Kyle, and I knew he was at rock bottom yesterday because we had a little birthday celebration for one of our teammates' birthdays here at the Market Hall.
Birthday yesterday.
Nolan Murphy.
I didn't get an invite. I like Nolan.
I also did not get an invite, but I accidentally crashed it.
So there was a number of teammates and a bunch of little kids running around, right, that were over here. Yeah. And all of a sudden, Stroh comes in with his hood up, walking by.
Snowing.
You looked sad.
I was sad.
You looked sad. And then what did he do on the day that he was supposed to be working out, Kyle?
What was he doing on days? Was he working out?
Where do you think he went?
At the bar.
He went right.
I didn't go right to the
No,
bar.
no.
I needed butter, so I went to Walgreens. I live right down here.
And you decided to drink. Didn't we tell you the only thing you need to be drinking literally is
Kyle.
creatine water? Like what? I
Kyle.
saw you on Friday night, and what was he doing? I'm driving down. What street was that?
what
Stro?
was that?
Milwaukee Street.
Yeah, it was
I'm
Milwaukee
driving
Street.
down Milwaukee Street after having a great dinner with my fiance, and she's like, "Is that Alex Strofe?" And I said, yeah, I guess his body from the back you can tell because he's so skinny and scrawny. I said, Alex. I said, Strofe. I said, get in the gym.
What were you doing?
I was leaving dinner.
Oh, you were out at dinner. Okay.
Meanwhile, you were sitting here sipping drinks the night before you're supposed to get up and drink, work out.
Yeah, I took it pretty easy on Friday. I reconnected with an old friend.
You told me that.
It was,
you need
it was
to
a lovely night.
need to reconnect with a new friend called the gym. That's what.
Well,
you
that
need
wouldn't
to
be a
do.
reconnection. That would just be a connection.
Okay,
first off.
connect with.
So
I'm sorry.
you
Yeah, go
felt
ahead.
like you hit rock bottom on Thursday, felt motivated Friday morning, got roasted on KBN on Friday afternoon,
That just comes with the territory.
and then you
That's-
had drinks Friday night and Saturday night and missed your Saturday workout.
He's drank more than he's worked out. He swore to us. He told us. He said, I'm just so embarrassed in myself.
I am.
I'm a grown man.
I can't lift 100 pounds. Yeah, it's embarrassing.
Yeah, but you don't care.
No, I do care.
No, you don't.
No, I do.
No, somebody who actually cares. Do you realize when somebody's actually motivated, they find a way to grind through, regardless
I'll
if
be
they're
there
sore?
today.
No, that's not the mentality. The mentality is I'm going to be there as much as possible.
I am.
Just because I'm sore, I'm going to
But
find
Kyle,
a reason to get better every day. That's what you said.
GBED, I agree.
You didn't
However,
get better yesterday.
if
You
there
didn't
is-
get better yesterday.
If there is room for zero productivity, what's the point?
Dude, that's not the way it works. Just because you're sore doesn't mean you still can't lift.
I couldn't drink my coffee. Hey, Kyle. Okay?
From
I couldn't.
He couldn't lift the 2.5 pounds of coffee in his cup.
No, I couldn't.
What did your fiance say when you told her that?
She said, it's okay. We're going to do yoga.
So wait a minute. So you can do body weight and yoga, but you can't do, or you did at-home yoga, did you?
At-home yoga.
Okay.
Yeah, which is basically just him laying on the floor.
Pretty much, yeah, pretty much.
While she's
Not that
It
much
wasn't good.
difference between that and meditation. His girlfriend's working out, and he just is moving his arm
Fiance,
here. And,
watch your mouth.
Sorry, fiance. Fiance.
Strofe, at what point are you going, like, Strofe, so we're both going to, I'm going to the gym to see, because I said I could bench press 135
I'm not spotting
10
you,
times.
for the record.
I don't need you to spot me. I'm
What
not some
I
softie.
want to know from Strofe is like, all right.
Hey, time out,
like,
wait. He just said he's not going to spot. Strofe, you couldn't spot me if you tried. We already determined that I would die if you tried to spot me.
That was the joke.
What are you
Kyle.
talking about?
Kyle, it took you 90 seconds to process the joke.
Yeah, that's true.
What I
what's your question?
What I want to understand is because like I'm actually Team Strofe on this, and I know you don't believe me, Alex.
I don't.
But I think
You're
you,
absolutely
but I
right.
think
I
you,
do not.
you know long game I'm Team Strofe, and all the short games are to beat because I'm Team Strofe. And I want to know from you. Like, what's your workout plan today? Like, what do you have set up?
well,
like,
I
when
had it
you
sent
get
to
into
me.
the gym?
I had it sent to me.
Had it sent to me, so he hasn't even really
So
looked at it.
Brad's sending you this.
Not even
No.
Brad. Not
It was
even
Will.
Brad.
All right, so
Will.
machine bench press, 3 sets of 15. Incline machine bench press, 3 sets of 10. The machine fly, I don't know what that means, 3 sets of 15. The cable tricep extension, looking forward to that one, 3 sets of 8. And then I'm going to do sit-ups as many as I can to wrap it up.
That's the maximum of 3, I would say.
Sit-ups? No, sit-ups are easier than push-ups.
I don't think he has a core.
So, like, what I'm worried about is that somebody like Will is going to give you what you should be doing in like 2 months and not what you're doing today.
He's
Like,
15.
Dr.
15.
Denver Dan chimes in and is like, just do push-up, Strofe. Like, at some point, like, you're just going to have to start small because you're going to try to max out today because you're trying to eat the whole cake at once right now.
Yeah, for sure.
And then you're going to try to max out, and then you're not going to be back in the gym for 3 days, and you're going to tell everybody how sore you are, and you're not going to have any consistency into this whole thing of you, quote-unquote, working out.
Well, okay.
Like, you're going to do 3 sets of 15 on the bench press. You did 8 bench presses the other day, and you haven't been able to lift a cup of coffee for 3 days.
Well, hold on. I think that's insincere.
How?
What do you mean it's insincere? It's exactly
Because
what you
I
said.
went to fail if I'm succeeding,
You're just
today,
saying
I'll
that
be
because
less
Ben
sore.
Bruss said that quote.
He doesn't know what it means to go to fail. Go to fail.
I
typically-
failed.
No, Strofe.
And I was still trying to get it up.
Strofe,
I exhausted every part of my body.
Strofe, you tried to max out. Typically, when working out, from my experience, going to fail is typically when you're working out and you're working your way up.
I have a
and you try
question.
to do as many as you can
I don't
until
want
you
to
go
hear
to
from you.
fail.
I don't want to hear you anymore.
You
I don't wanna
started
hear
at
you.
the
Stop
top.
talking. I don't want to hear you anymore.
Oh, okay. What are you gonna do? Hurt me? Fight me? We know that can't happen.
I would take
have a
Kyle.
question.
I would take Kyle.
I would also take Kyle. I have
take
a question.
My 13-year-old cousin who is 5'10" and a girl.
This is going to get us nowhere.
Anthony chimes in on YouTube. Look at me checking the YouTube. Pat on the back to me.
Yeah.
You're great.
At ESPN Milwaukee, at ESPN Madison on YouTube. Anthony chimes in, says you have to ease into working out. Start small, go from there. You can't go and find your max every workout or you will quit.
I don't want to max out. I'm gonna go light on the weight today. It's just more about routine. Now, I do have a question. You're a fit guy, relatively.
Relatively. It's generous, I would say, but yes.
You're welcome. When will I stop being as sore as I've been this week? Like, if I get into a normal rhythm, do you think I will
Yes.
just get used to it?
Yes.
Okay, got it.
But like you have to just start doing it. That's my point.
But I am, Greg.
I know. I could tell because like when you hit rock, you're trying to you're drinking creatine water the first time you work out.
Yeah.
Like you're trying to get jacked right away, and
no,
all you need to do is focus on building your habits right away.
So you drank the creatine. Do you have some more for today?
I'll drink some after today.
Like you
You're supposed
just
to do a post-workout. I thought it was a pre-workout thing. It's a post-workout thing.
like you just got to get into the habit, and then
Yeah.
once you get your habit, then you could actually start to.
Can you tell I'm genuinely bothered?
Yes.
No,
you can you can see this video, by the way, on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee, at ESPN Madison, with him unable to get the 95 pounds up. You are trying. Every part of your body is moving in order to try to get that bar.
You can laugh. It's okay.
No, you think you care, but you don't. If you cared, you would have found a way to fight through yesterday. Like maybe
Kyle, he cares. He just doesn't know what to do.
That's probably the
quit
most
is
accurate.
not one thing
wasn't
to
quit.
do. Yes, it was. You quit yesterday. You literally skipped a workout
There's
with somebody who was going to work out with you.
A lot
talk
of
with
time
you.
left on the clock, Kyle.
Dude, you have a lifetime left on the clock. But
Exactly.
I am very concerned because somebody did talk about if you're like this at 27, imagine what you're going to be at 37. Imagine what's gonna be-
Bodybuilder at 37.
Dude, okay. You know what? Strofe, we'll be in the gym today probably for about 15 minutes. I'm just testing some stuff out. And I hope you're actually getting stuff done.
Oh, are you guys going today together to
Well,
the gym?
I guess we're both going after.
Well, yeah, I mentioned that I'm going after, and he said, well, I'm going after.
All right, I love this.
Can I ask him, so when you do those 3 sets of 15,
You can ask me whatever you want.
what
Kyle.
weight
Go ahead.
are you thinking about putting on there?
I gotta test it out. I don't know.
From a bench standpoint?
Yeah, which workout?
For the three sets of 15. You're not benching. You don't need to touch a bench.
Well, I won't do an actual bench. I'm going to do the machine, which I believe is called the Smith machine. Is that correct? I'm learning.
Couldn't tell you. I just do it.
You spend a lot of time online looking up beginner workouts.
Yeah, I'm trying to get better.
I know. I get that you want
You're actually Team Strofe. I can tell
I
because you
am.
softened way up.
No, Scalzo.
You're going
he's not
soft on me
Scalzo.
today.
He's not trying to get better.
Yes, I am.
Strofe, when did Will send you this workout?
Maybe 30 minutes ago, 40
Okay,
minutes ago.
so you didn't ask for it yesterday. So if you were trying to get better, you would already have a
Well, no,
plan.
Will backed out of me today.
Okay,
He's
because
giving me a taste of my own medicine.
If I'm Will, I'm not scheduling my workouts around you.
So if you would have planned out, okay, how much weight should I be lifting? Should I just start off with 25? Should I start off with 30? Should I start off with 50? Like, where should I start? You should already be doing. So you're going to
He told me go light on weight, just figure out the reps. And I
Yeah.
said, that's good advice.
Okay, so what do you think you're going to start with then?
I don't know, Kyle. I have to go in there to see what's available. I don't know if it's in.
I would do
increments of 10
something.
or
I would
5
do
or-
something around, and it's gonna sound insulting,
He
but like
said
start
10
at
or 5.
start at like 50 pounds if you're
Yeah,
gonna be
that's
doing a
kinda
bench.
what I was thinking.
Excuse me.
and then work up.
50 pounds?
Just-
you think he can lift 50 pounds
Yes.
with those arms? 15 reps?
He did
Three
the
sets?
he did the bar at 45.
Kyle, it's insulting regardless, but don't be so insulting. Right? If
Three-
you're going to be insulting, at least make it a little bit.
You also might want to start with sets of 10 instead of sets of 15.
Yeah.
15 sometimes, like at some point, like, and you could read a lot of different things on
His
this.
chest is going to be dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
You don't want to be doing
starting at ground zero, folks.
you don't want to be doing things to the point where you can't even show up.
Greg, I appreciate you because you're investing
What's
early.
below ground zero?
You're investing early, and I appreciate that.
I am. I would say, though, even if you are sore and you're going to go to work out with Will, show up and do whatever you can, because the act of showing up is still going to train you to show up. You have to get it into your habits of like, hey, man, I'm so sore. I might sit here and stretch. If you want to do yoga, go to the gym with Will and sit there and do whatever you think yoga is, or like whatever but just start you got to start building some level of routine.
Okay.
That's a good leader right there.
Yeah, this is good advice.
See, me, I'm just like, what? You skip, you cheat,
Yeah, that's
you
why
quit.
I said I don't want to hear from you.
You quit, but you did quit. You don't want to hear the truth? You quit. You quit yesterday. You didn't show up. Imagine if you had practice for a team and you didn't show up. You'd be cut. That's why we'll cut you today.
Dr. Denver dances, start with no weight, do push-ups, sit-ups, squats with no weight. Use your body weight before you start using weights. That helps with soreness.
Hey, we tried to have him do push-ups for the last year, but guess what? He was cheating the system. Were you not, Strofe? Were you not cheating the whole time?
No, not the whole time.
Okay, the majority of the time.
The majority of the time.
And now, do you regret not trying?
A little bit.
A little bit. The whole world, 2 million, 3 million people have seen you. Caleb Williams has seen you.
We didn't even get to that point.
We haven't gotten there yet. Yeah, that's okay. I'm glad I live rent-free.
Ryan chimes in, says, Strofe, if you work out 4 to 5 times a week within 3 to 6 months, you'll see significant progress. Stay the course and be patient.
Thank you.
Dave from Aaron says, you'll always be sore, but after a while, it's not as long. So we'll come back. We'll continue to help Strofe.
What a start to this show.
We'll turn our attention to the Green Bay Packers, to the NFL Combine, to the report card that the Packers organization got, and, of course, to Brian Gutekunst and exactly what he might be looking for at the NFL Combine. That's all coming up. Sunday Karma.
This is Sunday Karma on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app. The Homer Hour with special guests every day from 5 to 6.
That's why I said the toughest part to me for the Packers is that the division is, I think, better than it's been.
The best 60 minutes of your day happens on the Homer Hour.
So the issue is, and I'm working on the T-shirt right now, this season is very simple.
This guy.
Got to win the damn division.
Weekday afternoons from 5 to 6 on 94.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube. 2 tickets are better than 1, especially when you're only paying for 1. Score Bucks buy 1, get 1 tickets for select upcoming home games with seats starting as low as just $20. Catch the Bucks as they take on Phoenix, Cleveland, the LA Clippers, and Dallas. Marquee matchups as the Bucks push for the playoffs. Big games, big energy. 2 tickets for the price of 1. But don't wait. This is a Thursday, March 5th only deal. Tune in Thursday to ESPN Milwaukee and follow us on our socials for details on how you can grab buy 1, get 1 tickets.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Game Night for Events by Design. Events like appreciation parties and retreats can go a long way towards boosting morale and retaining top talent. Events by Design is your go-to creative partner for employee events that truly make an impact. They help leaders retain top talent by making their people feel seen, valued, and celebrated. The creative team at Events by Design does all the planning and production, making sure things not only look great, but also work. Make a smart investment in your culture today. Search online, Events by Design. They design, you party.
You've already put in the work. Now there's a way to make it count towards your degree. At Lakeland University, your work and life experience can earn you college credit, helping you finish faster, saving time and money. With flexible evening and online classes, plus multiple start dates, Lakeland fits your life. Study 100% online at one of our 6 locations across Wisconsin or on our residential campus in Sheboygan County. Customize your degree to fit your life, your goals, your future, without missing the moments that matter, at work or at home. Your experience matters here. Lakeland University. Experience it your way.
Ben Brust here, and let's cut the crap. I've been sold a lie with sportswear, too. You pay a fortune for big-name gear, a fancy logo, a slogan, and it still stinks. Iron Jock doesn't play that game. Silver ion technology is woven into every thread, killing 99.9% of odor-causing bacteria. And now, through March 8th, our listeners can get 40% off all Iron Jock t-shirts and polos with the code SPRING40. That's code SPRING40. Shop now at ironjock.com. That's ironjoc.com.
We have standards in Wisconsin. Cheese should squeak. Sports and tailgating go hand in hand with brats aplenty. And beef is a delicacy where each bite makes you close your eyes for a second. For 50 years, Bunzel's has been hand-selecting the finest beef, making homemade specialty sausages, and crafting award-winning jerky right here at home. Because Wisconsin is still cattle country, quality isn't optional. It's expected. And after 5 decades, Bunzel's still delivers. Stop in today at 90th and Burleigh or at bunzels.com.
Grab the dial and crank it up, baby, because Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee is spinning its Winning Hits collection. Over the next 3 months, you could win a share of over $1 million in prizes. On top of thousands in cash and reward play, you could win one of 3 new Ford vehicles in the grand finale drawings on March 27th. Just play with your rewards card to earn entries. Press play on the Winning Hits collection, only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Did you know Professional Construction Inc. has an in-house team of interior designers? We're excited to bring our expertise to you with our brand new virtual interior design program. Maybe you're not ready for a full construction project, but you are ready to refresh that outdated room. Our PCI design team creates stunning photorealistic renderings, a mood board, and a curated shopping list, all delivered to you in just days.
For all your construction and design needs,
visit professionalconstructioninc.com.
We don't just cover the green and gold. We cover the green and gold. Your home for Green Bay football talk on 94.5 ESPN, ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube channel, and the ESPN Wisconsin app. This is Sunday Karma on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Alex Strofe, Kyle Wallace, myself, Greg Scalzo, Sunday Karma, no Craig Karma's. And Kyle, is he going to call in today?
That email was kind of, I don't think, did he respond to the email?
I have no idea. All of a sudden, we had like 7 other people involved. Yeah. Like, do you want Craig to call in?
Yeah, I don't know. Craig did text in. I can text him to see if he wants to call.
I don't think we need him on that. I would say if he wants to chime in, because he was excited in our group chat about the combine, calling it something special.
I'm out, but that combine was something special.
Bro, look at you. You got the attention of a founder and a CEO of a major media company in America.
And he got the attention of one of the top young quarterbacks in the NFL, Caleb Williams, going after Alex Strofe on social media.
That's crazy, bro. Look at you. All these things that you say, and it wasn't your words that you speak so well, and all the creativity that you have. It was your lack of athletic ability that really got the masses.
Let's talk about that for a moment.
To know you.
Let's talk about that for a moment. So Friday, right as we sign off on KBN, it was just a little bit after 5 o'clock Friday night. Somebody had quote tweeted me not being able to bench 135 pounds and said, "This is."
I think it was actually you not being able to bench 95 pounds.
This one was the 135. But yeah, I mean,
no, I think it was a quote tweet of the quote tweet with you doing.
Well, now I'm confused. Yeah. Regardless,
because that's the one that got all those views.
No, they both got all those views. Is the issue, Greg?
Sorry, continue.
So somebody quote tweeted it and said, "This is who makes fun of my QB for painting on his nails." LMAO. Which, fair. Caleb Williams then reposted that. Meaning, Caleb Williams, who's a loser and a fraud, is worried more about me saying, I think he's a dork for painting his nails, than he is about training and getting ready for the 2026 season to prove that the Chicago Bears are on a fluke, which he will not successfully prove, but that's neither here nor there. Caleb Williams is focused on me instead of an off-season training routine, which is exactly where I want to live. Greg, I'd rather not be able to lift 95 pounds than paint my nails and be worried about a guy that can't lift 95 pounds.
I mean, that's quite the spin. Is it to say that a retweet is a distraction is quite the spin.
He's spending time on the internet. Dealing with people that actively troll him, as in me.
Well, I mean, as you know about working out, working out isn't a 24-hour thing. Some people maybe take 3 hours a day and others take 10 minutes like you. Or don't show up. I don't like Caleb Williams. I'm not going to defend him.
He seems cocky. He seems like
he's very cocky. I agree. He's very cocky.
He seems like he's won a Super Bowl when all he's done is win a playoff game. That's what it seems like to me.
I mean, You're right, by the way. It was the 135. Pepe Sylvia put
Are
that.
you currently on Caleb Williams' Twitter?
I'm on Caleb Williams' Twitter. And yes, he had retweeted that yesterday, on Friday. His retweet almost has 1 million. So,
wow.
Caleb Williams watched you working out, Alex Strofe. How about that?
Crazy.
Amazing.
And you think it's still worse for him to be painting his fingernails as a professional athlete. You're not a professional athlete.
No.
To your defense, right? Like your physicality and your physical
Much
fitness
less than Caleb
does
Williams,
not come into your career. Like I mean, his physical fitness, right? Doesn't play into his career.
Unless we need him to lift over a certain amount of weight.
Well, actually, I would argue that my physical fitness has played into my career now.
It's benefited you. Your lack of physical fitness has actually skyrocketed your own popularity and awareness that you exist.
I don't know about popularity, but awareness for sure.
Well, popularity doesn't have to be a good thing. Popular, I think, is just that people are aware that you exist,
Okay,
you know?
Yeah. Q rating.
Q rating actually implies positivity, I think. I think popularity is more like people know who you are, you know? So you are.
So my lack of physical fitness has actually benefited.
Do you think that there are people on the Chicago Bears, like players on the Bears, that are actively talking about you, Alex Strofe, and like, man, did you see that video of that kid up in Wisconsin who couldn't even get up 95 pounds?
I hope so.
Yeah, he embarrassed us. He did because.
Are you embarrassed by him, Kyle?
Well, because what happens is that regardless of how the games ended in the comebacks, the Packers were 1-2 against the Bears this year. We did, we talked our talk a lot this year. And now, as part of the show that talked our talk, I mean, Strofe didn't say anything too crazy. He really wasn't trending with his words about Caleb Williams and the Bears through the season. The Colston Loveland thing went viral. But now...
That one's broken contained, by the way.
Yeah, now it's just kind of like, they did all this talking, and look at this guy. He's part of that station, too. So he makes us all look bad. I mean, it's a station that has Chewy, Tausch, Brad Nortman, like the state, Ben Bruss. And now Gabe Neitzel. Gabe can work out.
Does
there
need
he's the face. He's the face.
So what I'm getting from you, Kyle, is like because I'm sure our friends at ESPN Chicago are going to start to get on the ESPN Wisconsin team next week about this, right? Does there need to be some sort of physical challenge here between ESPN Wisconsin and ESPN Chicago? Does there need to be some sort of field day? Like, are you going to have Cap and like?
Oh, Cat won't show up.
Why don't you put me
Sylvie and Waddle?
Put me on the sidelines for that.
Falco.
Dude, these are 50-year-old men. You don't think you can compete with?
Because we do have an awfully athletic team at ESPN Wisconsin. You bring in
Brad Nortman.
Nortman. Gabe played college baseball.
I mean, these guys are.
Kyle was a good football player.
Yeah, just give me 3 weeks to train. I'll be all right.
I mean, Ben Brust, great athlete. Chewy, obviously a great athlete. Homer, college athlete. Varsity letter in tennis. I know he's 70 years old.
70 different universities.
He still moves around pretty well.
Did you see what Homer said this weekend?
I didn't see what Homer said.
So Chris Berman announced that he's not going to retire.
Oh, I did see that.
Yeah. Homer said he'd like to announce that he will not be retiring until 2080 to celebrate 100 years of broadcasting, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
We got Homer for another, what is that, 50-something years?
Okay,
That's terrific.
Yeah,
You're signing up for that, right?
Yes. I would sign up for Homer through 2080, although in 2080 he will be...
me, you, all of us might be good.
He'll be 120 plus years old.
Yeah.
Right?
I'll be 90.
Well, modern medicine, Greg. Homer could make it that long.
Modern medicine ain't that modern.
Homer's in great shape. His mental capacity is all still there.
I'm not saying anything about Homer. I'm saying that I don't think he would be... There's not a human being on Earth that is old right now as Homer would be in 2080.
But if anybody can do it,
it'd be Homer.
It'd be Homer.
Yeah, Homer. So
I just want to make sure you're on.
As long as I'm making these decisions, yes, I'll be here. And Homer.
I replied. I said I'm absolutely game for this. I'll Greg, let me announce it right now. If Homer makes it to 2080, that's when I'll retire as well. We'll go out together.
You and Homer?
Yeah, I'll go till 2080.
Kyle doesn't think you're going to make it to 28.
I'd be 88 years old, I think.
I'm sorry, bro. I mean, I hope you make it to 88.
Yeah, I'd be 91.
No, I'd be younger than that.
I don't think a body...
I'd be 82 years old.
Oh, well.
I might make it to 82. Kyle, I think just given the theme of the show today, the way I am turning my life around.
Go to a doctor first. Because
That's good advice.
I do think you should show this video to a doctor and get their assessment of this. That should be the foundation because there may be some.
Do you not go to the doctor?
He's never been to the doctor since he's been an adult.
Not never.
Since he's been an adult.
It's been a while.
How long?
Years.
He needs
2 years?
No, longer than that.
5 years.
It's probably been since 2020, yeah.
Yeah, you should go to a doctor.
Yeah,
look, when I went to the doctor in my 20s, probably not the best doctor, he was like, you're healthy, you don't need to come back for a couple years. And I was like, what do you mean?
Yeah, they tell you every other year.
But you're like, why? Like, I'm going to give me my physical.
Yeah.
I get it for free. It's part of my health insurance. Take the tests.
I don't know. Frankly, the doctor scares me a little bit.
Well, you need to
Why?
you need to know something may be there might be an underlying condition that you have.
Kyle, don't make stuff up. I'm fine. I'm just out of shape.
Bro, that's beyond out of shape.
Doesn't matter. Go to the doctor. Jason Wilde joins us next. We'll talk Packers. It is Sunday Karma.
This is Sunday Karma on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Shopping with your parents can be embarrassing.
Why would they sell jeans with holes in them? I'm going to speak to the manager.
Mom!
That hoodie is giving. You should get it. YOLO.
Thanks to the Chase mobile app, your kid can shop independently while you keep an eye on their spending. So you can go from...
We can be twinsies.
...to...
How was shopping? Saw you stayed on budget.
Thanks, Mom. Freedom for kids, control for parents. That's family banking from Chase.
Account subject to approval. Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. Member FDIC.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you can choose the best coverage option for you. Because you know you. Like, you know you can't cook. You're not one of those people who say that they can, but when people come over for dinner, they find out the hard way, you can't. You can't even microwave popcorn, and that's literally just one button. Plus, measuring and patience are huge parts of cooking, and that's just not you. Only you know you. So get coverage options within your budget with Progressive's Name Your Price tool. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Kyle Brust-Norman's Ben Brust here for Grimal and Associates Insurance. They do what anyone with a growing family, like myself, does. Protect what matters most. Grimal and Associates specializes in coverage that's tailored exactly to you. Clients aren't just policies. They're part of their community. Personalized American Family Insurance back service, expert guidance, and genuine commitment. Grimal and Associates focuses on building trusted relationships and providing peace of mind. The same values they've had for over 30 years in the Milwaukee area. Connect with Grimal and Associates at teamgrimal.com.
Heck yeah! It's ESPN Wisconsin's Alex Stroh for my friends at Robert Hack Diamonds. Listen, when it came to buying an engagement ring for my now fiance, I had no idea what I was doing, which is why I went to the team at Robert Hack. I heard her say words like radiant cut and solitaire, but to be real honest, I didn't really know what that meant. So I wrote it down, I brought it to the team at Robert Hack Diamonds in Greenfield, and they knocked it out of the park. It's true, if you've never been through this process before, the team at Robert Hack are absolute experts. 3 locations in the Milwaukee area, one in Greenfield, Brookfield South, and Brookfield North. If you're looking to take the next step like I did, and your girlfriend maybe is posting things on her Pinterest page or is showing you pictures, bring it into Robert Hack. They'll do their best to duplicate a dream ring for her, just like they did for my fiance. Moral of the story, if you are like me and you want to start, you just don't really know where, the answer's clear. Visit one of the 3 Robert Hack locations in the Milwaukee area. Just like me, at the end, you'll say, heck yeah, with Robert Hack Diamonds. And RobertHackDiamonds.com, that's RobertHackDiamonds.com.
At Associated Bank, we get life gets complicated. So banking, it should be easy to get. That's why our tools speak your language. Automated savings, it's saving automatically for anything. Digital controls, you lose your card, you're still in control. Turn it off, then on, all on the app. And Money Monitor, you know where your money goes, like those long forgotten subscriptions. At Associated Bank, we get you. That's why we've got you. Learn more at associatedbank.com/YouGotThis. Member FDIC.
Don't think twice.
Don't let a busted garage door get you down. Call my friends at Geist today. For 70 years, Geist has been the trusted garage door authority in Wisconsin. With brands like CHI and LiftMaster, they have doors for every budget and will even build custom designs to get your exact needs. For swift and reliable garage repair solutions, go to geistdoors.com. That's GEIS doors.com. You can also visit their amazing showroom in Brookfield, featuring hundreds of doors and openers and their custom design room.
Don't think twice. Call Geist. Screaming Sicilian, more is amore. Screaming Sicilian, more is amore. Amore, pepperoni, amore, mozzarella, amore. Screaming Sicilian, screaming Sicilian.
Screamin' Sicilian frozen pizza. More toppings, more flavor. More is amore.
Kyle, Brust, and Nortman. KBN.
The results speak for themselves, and either you're going to jump on board or you're going to find out why they are who they are.
On 94.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube. More Sunday Karma coming up on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Sunday Karma across ESPN Wisconsin. Check us out on the ESPN Wisconsin app. If you haven't downloaded it right now. Listen to all of our content there, live, podcast, everything you need. And, of course, follow us on YouTube. ESPN Madison, ESPN Milwaukee, ESPN Beaver Dam, Greg Scalzo, Alex Strofe, Kyle Wallace here with you, joined as we are every Sunday on Sunday Karma by the best there is when it comes to the Green Bay Packer, Jason Wilde. You hear him on Wilde and Tausch 9 to noon, Monday through Fridays, and across all of our shows. Jason, I guess I want to start at the Combine and kind of identifying with Ed policy now in place, right? And the structure of this team still sort of what it is, where you've got Goody and LaFleur and Russ Ball still all reporting up to Ed policy, but this effort to be more in line and collaborative. Is anybody playing any different role in the scouting process during this time? Like, is Goody getting more involved in the scouting process and collaborating more with Goody? Or is it still sort of business as usual as it was, where each guy is staying in their own lane?
Yeah, that's a great question. And while I don't know if I agree with the best in the business, I will say this. When the announcement or the news, which a number of us got, that they had in fact extended the contract of Matt LaFleur and that they were going to continue to extend Goody and Russ Ball as well, my number one question was, are you going to change the structure or not? And in talking with multiple people who lived in the building, worked in the building, they don't live in the building, I got what I wanted. And that was one of my rare scoops, was that they were keeping the structure in place. And to your point, it made sense from the perspective of this. I have a really hard time with the idea of changing the structure and making Goody Matt LaFleur's boss, right? Like, you know, again, you run our operation. You do a great job. Tausch wants me to suck up to you so I can go to the scouting combine next year. But one of the most important things is, you know, you've got an ability to both connect with people that are, say, on the same spot on your organizational flow chart of GKB, but also connect to, you know, goofballs like me who are further down the food chain. I sometimes wonder how Goody and LaFleur and Russ Ball, who obviously are always going to say that they work in great collaboration, I'm sure there are times when you maybe disagree with something that someone else who's on the same plane as you are in the company believes very strongly in, right? And it's like the old Mike McCarthy saying, we can disagree, but don't be disagreeable. And once a decision is made, we all move forward together. I find myself wondering what the true dynamic is, and until probably someone is left out of the dynamic and then kind of spills the beans, if it's not ideal, then we'll have to wait until that happens, until Goody gets fired or LaFleur leaves or Russ Ball retires, whatever it might be. Nobody's going to say it while all three of them are still together, right? But your question is a great one, because I find myself wondering that all the time. Like, for instance, I understand that he's not the only coach to not go to the scouting combine, but from an optics perspective, whether it's accurate or not, what does that say to guys like Strofe and guys like Kyle and Brust and Nortman when they're doing their show? It says to me that, well, what's the point of going? Because my opinion doesn't really matter. Whether that's true or not, those are the optics, right? And so the reason why this question persists is because of that. And they maybe have, you know, kind of redoubled their efforts to be on the same page. That was one of the things that Ed Policy talked very clearly about, going into the process, wanting to make sure that everyone was working in concert. But I still find myself thinking that for all the talk about silos from Mark Murphy, when Ted and Mike McCarthy and Russ Ball were atop the food chain, it seems like those still exist, and I have not seen any evidence that makes me feel like it's a lot better. And to me, that's one of the things that in his presidency, ed policy has to be more adamant about improving.
Jason, it's been almost 48 hours. Cam Accord, the new special teams coordinator in Green Bay. What do we know? Is it good? Is it bad? Is it in between? What do we make of the hire?
Who knows, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we're gonna want to say that it's great.
was a home run, so I mean, it's
exactly. And look, so first of all, as you well know, because we've talked about it before, like, Rick Gosselin is one of my greatest mentors on a national level. Like, he's one of those guys that really took me under his wing when I was a young reporter, and I'm really lucky to count him in that group. In fact, I'm frustrated that he retired. I want to ask him if he would give me all the information I need to continue his special teams rankings. He retired after the 2023 season, so we've now gone 2 years without those rankings. I would still call them the Rick Gosselin rankings. I'm going to reach out to him this week, because I not that I need more work on my plate, but those are so valuable, right? And Cam Accord, during one of his seasons in New England, had the number one special teams group. Matthew Slater, who I don't know if by playing simply on special teams you can get into the Pro Football Hall of Fame, but if it was possible, he'd be a guy that would do it, right? And he swears by Cam Accord. So those are pretty good feathers in his cap. He wasn't retained by Gerard Mayo. Obviously, if you work for Bill Belichick and you keep your job for the entire time you're working for him, you must do a pretty good job, right? Because Bill Belichick is not afraid to get rid of people that aren't good at what they do. Your job, as he likes to say. So those are all good signs about what he might be. But to your point, who knows, right? And I would still argue, as we have talked about many, many times on these airwaves, there is something baked into the roster building cake that prevents them from being truly a great special teams operation. And largely it's that they have so many young guys that oftentimes have to play those roles, and they're not especially good at them.
Talking with Jason Wilde here on Sunday Karma across ESPN Wisconsin. And Jason, Combine, Packers don't have their first-round pick, right, because they made the trade for Micah Parsons. They've got a lot of free agents that seem like they're probably not going to return to the Packers, and they don't have a lot of money to go out and get some more free agents. So for you, focused on maybe what's going to happen over the next 2 months, like, where are you looking and saying, okay, how is this roster building happening? How is Goody approaching the offseason? Like, what are you focused on right now as you look at the onset of this offseason really coming to into focus?
Yeah. Other than that, how is the offseason, Mrs. Gudikins? I don't. It's a challenge, right? And look, they have to clear cap space.
Yeah.
They have to create space so they can at least keep a few people that they and it's fascinating that they're in this position, right? Because remember how when they traded Rodgers going into the 2023 season and they took on the entire dead cap amount, like it was like $41 million, and they were able to take that on so they wouldn't have to bear the brunt of moving on from a 4-time NFL MVP with a $150 million 3-year contract. They did it right away, and then they made the playoffs, and then they won a playoff game. And the whole idea was that then they would be better positioned moving forward, right? But now they've paid Jordan Love. They've paid Micah Parsons. Even though Micah Parsons, I know Strofe and the boys on KBN did I think, what did you start at? Number 14, working your way up?
14, yep.
Of cap numbers, and the way Parsons' contract is structured, from a cap perspective, he's not that expensive. But it's pretty remarkable that they're in the spot that they're in, because they do have a lot of work to do. They're going to have to move on. look, I love Elton Jenkins. He is one of my guys, and certainly at this point in my career with a team that turns over the roster as much as they do, it's harder to build those relationships where you got guys that trust you. I've got a few, but he always did. And that's why Tausch and I were on the front end of him not being happy with his contract this past offseason, which, again, you can't blame him, right? Because now look at where he's going to be. He's going to get released like we thought he would. Now, on the flip side, Goody was right not to pay him, right? Not to adjust his contract. They're going to move on from him. They're going to get $19 million in cap relief by moving on from him. So it sucks for those of us that like Elton, and I'm guessing he's going to go somewhere else and be successful at guard where he belongs. And who knows, maybe clearing that space allows them to maybe bring in a Tyler Biotish, the former Badger who was cut by Washington, to come in and play center. He's 28 years old. He's he'd be a stopgap option for a year or two. But they've got so many decisions. The way Goody at first said of Rashawn Gary, well, if he's here, but then circled back and talked as if he's going to be here, who the hell knows what's actually going to happen? If you forced me to use Homer's betting theory of $100, how much are you willing to bet? I would bet more than $50 because I think it's more likely that he's gone than not. But the bottom line to me is that they've got a bunch of guys that they're going to move on from, and they got a bunch of guys that they're not going to re-sign. And for a team who Goody claims he doesn't believe in windows. I obviously believe in Pella windows, but I'd be curious how exactly you make sure you're a Super Bowl team if you move on from all these guys from the 2022 draft class that aren't under contract for next year, which is basically everybody except Watson for a year, Wyatt on the fifth-year option, and Zach Tom, who got the one extension. If you move on from all those guys, plus you release like 4 or 5 veteran players with high cap numbers, that's a lot of roster turnover, and you're counting on your studs, Tucker Kraft to come back healthy, Micah Parsons to come back healthy, Jordan Love to play at a high level, which he did, and stay healthy, which he sort of did compared to 2024. But you're not going to have one of the best backups in football because he's moving on too at quarterback. So I heard Brad Nortman say this in a promo because I don't listen to the show every day, even though it sounds like I do just right now, about how this is the biggest offseason Goody has faced, and he's absolutely right.
Totally.
And so I'm eager to see how it plays out because if I were a Packers fan, I would have a measure of apprehension of what I'm looking at this offseason.
Couple more minutes with Jason Wilde here on Sunday Karma. Jason, first off, I must say, if you want to suck up to Greg Scalzo to the point in which you want to go to the Combine next year, mentioning Gina Della and Pella Windows and Doors, Wisconsin is a great start for you. So well done there. My next question is about this week, because we're only, a week from Monday is when the legal tampering period begins for NFL free agency. Some of those decisions have to be made this week, I would assume, when it comes to the Rashawn Garys, the Elton Jenkins, et cetera, right? It would have to be this week, I would think.
So the new league year starts on the 11th, right? So that's officially like the start of the league year.
That's a week from Wednesday, I believe, right? Yep.
Correct, yes. And a week from tomorrow is when the negotiation period opens. On top of that, the roster bonuses are due generally on the 3rd or 5th day of the new league year. So now we're talking March 14th.
Yeah, roughly St.
16th,
Patrick's Day.
somewhere around there. Right, exactly. Sydney's birthday. On top of that, though, you want to be able to function. So you don't really want to take it up to that deadline, right? So I would think, like today, I saw Adam Schefter reporting, I don't know who the other player was, but the one name obviously jumped off my phone, and that was Aaron Jones, right? That the Vikings have informed Aaron Jones that barring a trade, they're going to release him after his 2 seasons in Minnesota, which, again, dude had 1,100-yard season in 2024. I'm not going to get my hopes up that one of my guys will be back since he's already celebrated his 30th birthday, but I think it'll be interesting to see if the Packers take the same approach as the Vikings and say, okay, we're informing Rashawn Gary, Elton Jenkins, maybe Aaron Banks, right? Maybe. I don't think so, but maybe.
You don't save a ton of money by releasing him.
You save about $4.5 million, I think. It's certainly more money than you save by releasing Nate Hobbs.
Right.
Nate Hobbs, I think you save like $838 million. But again, if Nate Hobbs isn't any good, you don't want to also pay him the $12 million that he's due. So, to me, those are the decisions they have to make. Can we take Goody at his word on Josh Jacobs? Because as you and I and the boys went through on your show, Strofe, like there's a difference between a very subtle difference, but what he said about Jones 2 years ago when he was asked, do you expect him to be on the roster? He said, yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously he wasn't. In this case, the question that I was told he was asked in the session with Wisconsin reporters in Indy was, will Josh Jacobs be your number one running back next season? Yeah, absolutely. So we'll see. But they've got to adjust his contract, too, to create some cap space. So a lot of decisions, but yes, to your point, Strofe, with the legal tampering period coming quick, they probably will do some of these things this week.
Jason, quickly here, the report cards from the Players Association come out. I know we talked about it all week here on ESPN Wisconsin. I'm less interested in terms of like, oh, what do you think about the grades and how legitimate is this? And more interested in how do you think that like the coaches and GM and the actual organization perceive it? Do they use this as a real indicator in terms of where to improve? Or do you think this is ultimately just used as like a, hey, this is what it is, and we're going to keep doing what we do and not using it as a real internal barometer for where they could get better?
Well, I would sure as hell hope that they use it in some form, right? I mean, it's not the 12Q, but it's certainly something that they should take into consideration. Like, for example, now again, I don't know the methodology. I don't know how things are weighted, right? Like, how many players gave LaFleur a B in terms of, and because the big thing on LaFleur was respect for players, right? Mm-hmm. That was where he drew the most criticism, according to the reports. So is there a handful of players that gave him an F- that dragged him down there, that maybe were disgruntled? Again, I don't know how people in leadership positions take this data and put it to use. But if you don't take it in some way to heart and say, okay, there's some areas where I need to improve, then you're not trying to grow. And I, among the things that drive me crazy are people that are unwilling to think about themselves and how they can be better. And so whether it's, something silly like childcare that obviously got a lot of headlines, like if I'm them, I'm saying, look, all right, we're going to figure that out. Like, we're going to make sure that if you have, that it doesn't seem very expensive. It seems like something that can be done for a few hours on Sunday when the game's going on. If for that to drag you down or for you to be the only team that doesn't do it, apparently, in the league, that seems like something you should probably take to heart. Now, Steno getting a C from the offense in terms of him. Again, I asked Chewy this during the week. Well, what do you think Sherm Lewis would get if we were doing this back in your day? Because it was Mike Holmgren's offense. Mm-hmm. So, like, how many guys are looking at Steno going, I'm not really sure exactly what he does around here. Uncalled plays, right? So maybe they give him a C, but that sucks for him because he looks bad in the grading, but he's also not in a role where he's a major decision maker. So what do I make of that? Again, I don't know enough about the background of how they go about this, but to your point, Greg, if you're not taking the information and at least say, hey, I need to look in the mirror and what ways can I be better this season to get us to be more successful as a team, and then I don't know what you're doing. Now, again, they got an A- for ownership.
Thank you very much.
At the same time, yeah, way to go, Strofe.
Wait, are
you're
you
the
an
one
owner
who
too,
dragged him
Strofe?
down.
No, I'm not.
Oh, I am.
Congratulations.
I know Kyle
it's
is.
very good.
They would have had an A, but Kyle dragged them down.
Hey,
but I would also add this, like, from an ownership perspective, the players aren't voting on the fact that they raised ticket prices again, right? They're not voting on that they might take away your season tickets if you've sold 100% of your tickets for multiple years. Like, those types of things, those don't affect the players. And from an ownership perspective, they're complaining about the training room and the trainers. I will say that was the one thing that jumped out at me more than anything.
Yeah.
I know they're going to redo the training room and it'll be improved, but there was a question about their trust of the trainers, and that blew me away because those guys have been there forever, and most of those guys in that building swear by Flea and Nate and that crew, so that made me wonder what caused that. But beyond that, to your point, Scals, I would say that if they don't take some of it into account, they're being blind, and they've got blinders on.
Yeah. Well, Jason, great stuff. We know you got to jump, so appreciate all the time this morning.
All right, guys, take care. Be good.
Jason Wilde and Tausch, 9 to noon across ESPN, Wisconsin. The report card stuff is interesting. I mean, the idea they can't figure out childcare on game days, which is maximum of 9 games a year, and not even turn that into a profitable proposition. You tell me there's not a childcare facility in Green Bay they can partner with, and there's so many creative things they could do. I am interested in the head coach respect for players. And I think as the Packers continue to endeavor to be one of the youngest teams in the league, are they prepared from a staff and a leadership standpoint to deal with an entirely new generation of people that they need to manage versus historically the Packers have had a lot of veterans, right, before this Goody run here. And does LaFleur know how to deal with a 21 or 22-year-old the same way that he did 5 years ago, 6 years ago, given that the generations, to me, turn over a lot quicker? We'll dive a little bit more into that next.
They're painting their nails now.
Yeah, but they can at least put 95 pounds up on the bench. But you know what? Jason Wilde said it best himself. He said he wants people who are looking to continue to grow and better themselves.
Just like me.
And that's what we have in Alex Strofe.
Absolutely.
Maybe. Sunday Karma continues next.
You're listening to Sunday Karma on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Parents can expect to use 2,500 to 3,000 diapers in a baby's first year. The Milwaukee Diaper Mission has distributed over 1.4 million diapers and other supplies for families just last year alone. This is WTMJ's Kristen Bry. Join me for WTMJ Cares Bowling for Babies, where we will raise funds for Milwaukee Diaper Mission. You can be part of it. Text BABY to the WTMJ Talk and Text line, 855-616-1620, to support our WTMJ Cares effort.
2 tickets are better than 1, especially when you're only paying for 1. Score Bucks buy 1, get 1 tickets for select upcoming home games with seats starting as low as just $20. Catch the Bucks as they take on Phoenix, Cleveland, the LA Clippers, and Dallas. Marquee matchups as the Bucks push for the playoffs. Big games, big energy. 2 tickets for the price of 1. But don't wait. This is a Thursday, March 5th only deal. Tune in Thursday to ESPN Milwaukee and follow us on our socials for details on how you can grab buy 1, get 1 tickets.
Hi, this is John Neal, CPA, founder of the Neal Group and best-selling author on how to have less stress with the IRS. Happy New Year. Hopefully you enjoyed the holidays and spent time relaxing. Now it's tax time. I know. It's not the most wonderful time of the year, wondering if you are getting a refund or owe, waiting for all the forms to come, and wondering what is deductible. Control the situation instead of letting it control you. Let us help you understand all the new tax laws, how they affect you, and how to take advantage of them. Last year, we helped Janet and Norm go from owing $43,000 to getting a $500 refund. We can help you, too. The first meeting is free. Call now, 414-325-2040, or visit nealgroup.net. You earned it. We help you keep it. That's 414-325-2040. or nealgroup.net.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Game Night Till 4 Events by Design. Events like appreciation parties and retreats can go a long way towards boosting morale and retaining top talent. Events by Design is your go-to creative partner for employee events that truly make an impact. They help leaders retain top talent by making their people feel seen, valued, and celebrated. The creative team at Events by Design does all the planning and production, making sure things not only look great, but also work. Make a smart investment in your culture today. Search online, Events by Design. They design, you party.
Looking up at the Marquette banners, brought to you by Saganiac Planning. Number 24, retired, honoring George Thompson. Too bad he didn't wear 40. He was Marquette's all-time leading scorer for 40 years, and he played only 3 seasons. Al McGuire said it best. Everything at Marquette changed after George Thompson, a high school superstar in the New York City area, came here. And years later, Shaka Smart added, for those that weren't around in 1969, George Thompson, the original Dwayne Wade. Your business is unique, and your health plan should be too. At United Healthcare, our group health plans are built for you and your employees. Whether you're running a small startup or managing a large enterprise, we offer solutions designed to fit your needs, your goals, and your budget. Explore your options today at uhc.com/Wisconsin. Insurance coverage provided by or through United Healthcare Insurance Company or its affiliates. Administrative services provided by United Healthcare Services, Inc. or their affiliates. Health plan coverage provided by or through United Healthcare of Wisconsin, Inc.
Did you know Professional Construction Inc. has an in-house team of interior designers? We're excited to bring our expertise to you with our brand new virtual interior design program. Maybe you're not ready for a full construction project, but you are ready to refresh that outdated room. Our PCI design team creates stunning photorealistic renderings, a mood board, and a curated shopping list, all delivered to you in just days.
For all your construction and design needs,
visit professionalconstructioninc.com.
Hey, this is Tanas Antetokounmpo. Download the new ESPN Wisconsin app.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The brand new ESPN Wisconsin app. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today.
The dance of sunlight on water.
Shimmering, sparkling, beautiful, hypnotic.
Houses that overlook a gorgeous body of water are the most highly desired houses in the world.
The Bellamare collection of fine jewelry features classic white diamonds, flanked and surrounded by rare and exotic blue diamonds.
Bellamare means beautiful water.
Bellamare, sunlight on water, glimmering and twinkling.
The dance is enticing.
The look is spectacular.
The impact is exciting.
Blue and white diamonds created in the heart of Mother Nature.
Will dance and sing on the body of a glittering, sparkling woman.
Bellamare. This blue and white beauty of sunlight on water
should be worn on the fingers,
the wrist,
the neck, and the ears
of the woman you love.
The Bellamare collection is available only at Kessler's.
We do diamonds better because diamonds are what we do.
For the location of the Kesslers nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Fisco is always there for your auto body care. When accidents happen, Fisco Auto Body on Forest Home in Franklin is there when you need them. Got a broken mirror? They'll take care of it. Dented bumper? Scratch paint? Fisco Auto Body will take care of it. If there's any damage you need fixed, Fisco has you covered. Their expert workmanship is guaranteed for the life of your vehicle. So stop in for all of your auto bumps and dings. Once again, you know the line. That's Fisco.
Ben Brust here, and let's cut the crap. I've been sold a lie with sportswear too. You pay a fortune for big name gear, a fancy logo, a slogan, and it still stinks. Iron Jock doesn't play that game. Silver ion technology is woven into every thread, killing 99.9% of odor-causing bacteria. And now, through March 8th, our listeners can get 40% off all Iron Jock t-shirts and polos with the code SPRING40. That's code SPRING40. Shop now at ironjock.com. That's ironjoc.com.
Hey, this is Gabe Neitzel. You're listening to 94.5 ESPN, WKTI and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
A limousine ride, jet flying, kiss stealing, wheeling, dealing, son of a gun. Woo! Let me hear one, Scals. Give me one. Woo! Kyle? Woo! Ric Flair, the WWE Hall of Famer, is coming to Milwaukee this month, March 27th, right up the street from where we are right now in downtown Milwaukee at the Riverside Theater. Thanasis Antetokounmpo, who was at Elimination Chamber last night, hosts Thanalysis Live with the WWE Hall of Famer and the global icon. Not a cameo, not a 5-minute interview. This is a full-blown production, high energy, unfiltered storytelling, and behind-the-scenes moments you've never heard. This is the third Thanalysis Live in Milwaukee, 4th overall. If you haven't been, you gotta to come out. It is unbelievable what TA has in his pocket. Surprises, energies, laughs, all the in-betweens. Tickets are limited. Do not wait. Get them right now. TALiveshow.com. That's TA for Thanasis Antetokounmpo. Liveshow.com. Thanasis is live March 27th at the Riverside Theater, presented by Gruber Law Offices and Potawatomi Casino Hotel. TALiveshow.com. Woo!
A lot of tricks up the sleeve for that live show. I'm very excited to see it coming together at the Riverside, which is a great venue. Again, TALiveshow.com. You can buy your tickets as well through the Riverside website. If you have ever purchased through the Pabst Theater Group before, you know how to get there. So TALiveshow.com.
Your boy Ben was
I wish I could
offering
spill a little bit more, but
no, I can't wait. I can't wait till everybody gets to know some of the tricks up the sleeve. Well, I'm telling you this right now. If these tricks come through, boy,
it's gonna be a good night. Oh yeah,
you're going to regret not being there. You know, Ben has offered for KBN Nation fans to potentially go to the after party, something like that. I didn't even know we were having that.
Yeah, Leroy called in. You know Leroy.
Is he not? Is he allowed to? Is Ben just going off script on that one?
He's gone off script all week. What are you talking about?
He said
he's inviting people to after parties. He's inviting people to my wedding.
He said I can't get you tickets, but I could probably get you to the after party.
Yeah, I don't think he can. I don't think he
Is
can.
there even an after party?
There's always an after party.
Oh wow! After the party, there's the hotel lobby, and the
after party is going to be hosted at Potawatomi Hotel Casino.
Oh
yes.
wow! I did
They're
not
at the
know
1833 room where we've done in the
didn't
past.
know if that was confirmed or not.
Yeah. Oh yeah. After party's going to be.
I'll be there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's exclusive. So you just can't walk in.
No, there's a list.
No, there's a list.
The list.
I got to make sure I'm on that list. I'm excited for
You
this
came
year.
last year.
I did after going to another event.
We were talking in the break about tuxedos.
Yeah, you were wearing your tux.
tuxedo.
That's actually the tuxedo my groomsmen will be wearing. I'm very excited.
Yeah. So that'll be a good one. Again, TALiveshow.com. We were talking a little bit about these Packers grades here on Sunday. Carmen, Greg Scalzo, Alex Strofe, Kyle Wallace with Jason Wilde. Big thanks to him for joining us. John in Milwaukee chimes in, right? And in case you don't know what we're talking about, NFLPA has the report cards where the players are allowed to grade the teams on a number of different issues. Or a number of different categories, I should say, from treatment of the families to the training staff to the individual coaches to the travel to the general manager, all that stuff. Packers overall ranked 21st in the NFL for their overall grades. They were A when it came to locker room, A- in weight room, A- in defensive coordinator who's no longer there, B+ in special teams coordinator who's no longer there. They were a C for training room and training staff. C+ for home game field, C+ for treatment of families, C for offensive coordinator who is still there, B- for head coach. Just to give you a little context there. So I think, if you haven't dug into this, a lot of fans, I think, were a little surprised and disappointed because, well, Packers fans like it's the Green Bay Packers. And John in Milwaukee similarly has that. He says, I know we're making a big deal about the grades for the Packers, but how do the Packers compare to other teams? Because I've heard scores for the Steelers where they scored F in many cases. And I'm wondering how the Packers did against other NFL teams. And does it still show that they're superior even though they have flaws in some areas? And I thought that was such an interesting way to position it because they're 21st when they are judged by their own individual players. Now, the Pittsburgh Steelers are ranked 32nd overall. So they were positioned last. So if you want to compare how players feel about playing for the Steelers versus the Packers, they are superior. But the Packers are below average when it comes to how their players feel about playing with that organization. It doesn't mean that they're a below average franchise, but it does very much mean that the Packers players feel worse about playing for their franchise than the majority, than 20 other teams worth of rosters feel about playing for their organization. They are almost in the bottom third, if we're to do the math on that, Strofe, of the organizations in the league. So the idea that there's this air of superiority around the Green Bay Packers, somewhat striking to me, given that this is a team that has appeared in 2 Super Bowls in this century, in the last 26 years, which is average to below average compared to other NFL franchises. So if you want to judge...
It's actually only appeared in 1 since 2000.
Wow, they've only appeared in... They've appeared in 1.
It was in 96, 97, 97, 98.
They've appeared in 1, which I think would put them squarely in the below average NFL franchise.
No, I don't think he realized time flies, Strofe. It's crazy. Yeah, Greg, that's why I'm so mad.
I think so really, I think, what has it been? 50 years, 40 years they've appeared in 2 Super Bowls?
Well, no. In the last
3 Super
30,
Bowls.
they've appeared in 3. They won one,
That's
they
right.
lost one.
That's true.
And then they won the one in 2010.
My math is a little off right now.
We kind of went heavy there back-to-back years, and then
this century they've appeared in 1 Super Bowl.
That's correct.
In the last 26 years.
Yep.
So the idea of like this superiority, do we think that there's a level of delusion where fans aren't willing to hold the team and the franchise accountable in ways that they're willing to hold other teams and franchises accountable?
Yeah.
Where does that come from? This idea of like, does it still show that they're superior?
Because there is a level of consistency that's unmatched across the league. Now,
it is
lacks
matched.
Super Bowls.
It is matched.
It lacks Super Bowls, but no, not really. I mean, New England, Baltimore, that's about it in terms of teams that consistently are atop their division and consistently in the playoffs and consistently in the mix. Now, the Packers, to your point, have not been able to close the deal. They haven't been able to get over the hump. They've been to 1 Super Bowl, but they're constantly in the playoffs. They're often in the NFC Championship game. They just haven't been able to get over that hump for one reason or another. Now, when it comes to, I like the conversation. I don't know that the report card is the perfect way to get there, because I think you would agree with me when we say most of this report card stuff. Now, some of the criticism is fair, but most of it's a crock of crap. I mean, the Miami Dolphins were number 1, and they cleaned house this offseason, right? So it's fine, right? The child care thing, sure, that's a fair knock. The weight room thing, that's a fair knock, but that's being addressed this offseason. But when it comes to this superiority complex that you're referring to, I think it's a level of consistency that's both impressive but also frustrating for fans, because it seems like the Packers oftentimes are okay with being good but don't really want to take that swing to get to great or a Super Bowl championship level. Now, the Micah Parsons trade is one move that they showed that urgency. They showed, hey, the status quo isn't good enough. We've got to go get a complete game changer on our defense. But they need more of that. There's not enough superstars. How can Goody this offseason, and we referenced it with Jason, Brad Nortman saying it, it's the biggest offseason of Goody's career. How can he take a swing or 2 or 3 this offseason that makes them go from status quo, they're good enough, they're a 7 seed, they're a playoff team consistently, to, hey, they should be viewed as the cream of the crop in the NFC. They should be viewed as the Super Bowl favorite. That's the superiority complex where it needs to take that next step.
800-990-3776, 800-990-3776. You can call or text in. Yeah, I think that, right, there's wins. There's regular season wins there. And you could look at it and say, yeah, they've been able to win. They've gotten 2 things, or really, yeah, I mean, over the last 25 years, 2 things really right that has driven that, right?
Quarterback.
Aaron Rodgers and Jordan Love.
That's it.
Because they went from Brett Favre, figured out the next guy. They went from Rodgers, figured out the next guy.
Yep.
But when you've been given that level of quarterback play, and you've gotten to 1 Super Bowl, and you haven't won that many division titles, really, you haven't won that many playoff games, it starts to become somewhat of a question mark as to, like, where is that level of complacency? Yeah. And do you put the Packers, like, outside of Wisconsin, is the perception that they are one of the elite franchises in the NFL?
I think so.
I think so.
I
do think they look at the Packers as being consistent, and elite. It varies, but you got to understand, Greg. You and I mean, your team won a lot of championships, right? Your father didn't see all them titles. You, on the other hand, has. But you have to understand, you have the Carolina Panthers, the Jacksonville Jaguars. You have,
but we're not talking about the bottom of the league.
No. But what I'm saying is that when you have most teams in the NFL that don't go to Super Bowls, don't consistently win, when they see the Packers, they say, okay, that's an elite team because they're always in prime time. They're always in the playoffs. So you look at that as an elite franchise, despite the fact we have not won titles and championships, which are extremely hard to come by. For the bottom 15 teams, they look at the Packers and they aspire to be us, right? But us, when you're in it all the time, you want to win. And I'm not a general manager, clearly, but I don't think breaking through is that hard. And when I say that is because when I look at what Seattle was able to do, they were able to rebuild themselves. New England was able to rebuild themselves. The Los Angeles Rams went all in and were able to rebuild themselves. And so, yes, there's going to be some down years, but if you trust the foundation and you trust your evaluators, there are times where you can go all in to put your team over the hump. The Packers refused to do that with Aaron Rodgers. And the thing is they went to an NFC Championship game with Jordan Love on the roster, did they not?
Yeah. on the roster.
But that's what I'm saying. You had the future there. So if you go all in different places and spend all this money, guess what? You still have your quarterback of the future so you can move forward. So maybe his year one, you don't win as many games, you don't make the playoffs, but over time you'll probably build up because you have the most important position set in stone.
I guess what I'd be curious about from your perspective, Greg, is you say nationally, do you think the Packers are viewed as an elite franchise, right? And there's certainly a debate to be had there, but I guess from your perspective, do you view the San Francisco 49ers as an elite franchise?
Not necessarily in the last. We're going this century, right? Largely because the Niners over the course of the last 40 years, certainly.
Yes, but since 2000 specifically.
Since
so
2000,
it's really the Alex Smith, the Colin Kaepernick era. And then
I wouldn't say like elite. You're really talking about top 5, right?
They've been in multiple Super Bowls. They haven't won one.
They have. I think they have an elite head coach. I think they're very well run. I think they're a better coached and a better run franchise at this point with John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan than the Packers are. Sure. Now, they haven't ever hit on the quarterback the way that the Packers have.
Right.
And so it's kind of a chicken or the egg. But when you look at some of the other organizations around the league,
but I think
you certainly put the Patriots ahead.
Of course.
You certainly put the Eagles ahead.
Yep.
You certainly put the Chiefs ahead.
Yep.
You certainly put the Seahawks ahead.
Yep.
There's a real argument to be had about the Steelers. There's a real argument to be had about, what do you mean, Same amount of playoff wins. Steelers have more division championships. They have the same amount of Super Bowl wins, right? With that one with Ben Roethlisberger.
They had a coach that never finished under 500.
They were. I mean, I think that's probably the best.
I said comparable. I didn't say.
I think either them or San Francisco is the best comparison.
I think them, San Francisco. I think Baltimore is another one that's appeared in, two Super Bowls and won one with Joe Flacco. I think you could look at
one with Dilfer too. That was 2000.
That is true. Yes, they did one. I forgot. I wasn't even counting that.
2001, maybe.
I wasn't even counting that. If you look at the Colts, I think that's an interesting argument over the last 20 years. They had Peyton Manning. They had Andrew Luck.
And now they have a future backup
good.
quarterback. Anthony Richardson, going to be a Packer.
They've got the Los Angeles Rams. I think you could throw into that mix simply for what they've done over the last 10 or 15 years.
The Eagles definitely are ahead of us.
Rams have won a Super Bowl. They've appeared in another Super Bowl in the Sean McVay era.
Yeah, that's
right?
true.
So, like, you've got these other teams that you could point to where you're like, yeah, sure, the Packers are top 10.
Yeah.
But it's a hard argument to just solidify them in a top 5.
But top 10 is just the top third of the league. So
correct.
Your point on the superiority complex is fair, right? I mean, obviously we have the dub of Title Town, but they've been lacking titles, especially this century. Been to one. They've won one, but they've only been to one. And that's problematic. And this window is only going to be open for how many more years? 3? Maybe?
I think 3 could be generous. I think you got to look at these next 2 seasons and say, no, with this roster, right? And you might even say that they need to wait a year. But like when you've got Micah Parsons in his prime, in a position where ultimately that might end up, his athleticism could wash out at some point, as we've seen all the great pass rushers do. You might have to split this up into 2 different Jordan Love eras, because I do think Jordan Love is good enough where he's going to play at a high level till he's 37.
Right.
But the rest of your roster isn't going to have that level of continuity. Are you going to have continuity with the coach? Which is why this offseason is such a fascinating one. We'll keep talking Packers. We'll keep talking Alex Strofe as well. And we'll be back here on Sunday Karma after we hear from our guy Craig Karmazin talking about something that you should all be aware about.
Sorry, I can't find it on the desktop.
Oh, my God.
We'll hear from Craig Karmazin when we come back. It's Sunday Karma presented.
You're listening to Sunday Karma on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app. All day, every day. The Cardless talk and text line is open for you.
We're not trying to get from A to B. We're trying to get from A to SB, as in the Super Bowl.
800-990-3776. The Cardless talk and text line. This is more.
Do you worry about how much someone drinks?
Do you feel neglected or unloved? If you answered yes to any of these questions, you are not alone.
Al-Anon and Alateen can help. Call 1-866-200-0223 or visit alanon.org/help.
Snapshot from Progressive wasn't created for just anybody.
Oh no, we made it for you, gradual breakers. You keep your eyes on the road, so you've seen it all. As long as it all happened directly in front of you, like a Swedish masseuse, your foot knows exactly the right amount of pressure to apply to the brake. That's why your passengers feel totally relaxed with you behind the wheel and occasionally super sleepy. With Snapshot, safe drivers like you get personalized rates based on your driving habits. Sign up today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Snapshot not available in California or from all agents.
Pizza's here. Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
They treated me like family. They're actually people that you can depend on.
They made me feel seen. They really treated me like I was a part of their family, a part of their team.
They ask how you're doing, how you're feeling.
They're just so welcoming and so sweet and kind.
It's like family, caring about another member of the family.
If you've been injured, it costs you nothing to see if Gruber Law Offices can help.
Come grow with us at Glenroy. For more than 6 decades, our family-owned company has built its reputation on quality, reliability, and providing strong career opportunities in our community. As the packaging industry rapidly grows, so does Glenroy. Here, you'll find competitive wages, a clean, modern workspace, fully vested 401k, yearly bonus award, and the chance to build a manufacturing career with purpose. Apply today at glenroy.com/careers. That's GLENROY.com/careers.
Looking up at the Marquette banners, brought to you by Saganiac Planning. Number 15 retired in honor of Butch Lee. He finished in 78, and the number retired the next season. It's hard to believe that any player could ever equal what Butch Lee did at Marquette. Part of the national championship team in 77, and the Final Four MVP, and the next season, the consensus National Player of the Year. So much success, it's not necessary to bring up any statistics. Number 15, Butch Lee, did everything. Running a business means taking care of your team and your bottom line. For over 50 years, Saganiac Planning has helped small businesses build smarter, more affordable medical and employee benefit plans. From health insurance to customized coverage options, our experts make it simple to protect your people and your future. Saganiac Planning, your partner in planning confidence. Visit SaganiacPlanning.com or call John Saganiac Jr. today to get started. 262-783-6161.
We have standards in Wisconsin. Cheese should squeak. Sports and tailgating go hand in hand with brats aplenty. And beef is a delicacy where each bite makes you close your eyes for a second. For 50 years, Bunzel's has been hand-selecting the finest beef, making homemade specialty sausages, and crafting award-winning jerky right here at home. Because Wisconsin is still cattle country, quality isn't optional. It's expected. And after 5 decades, Bunzel's still delivers. Stop in today at 90th and Burleigh or at bunzels.com.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Customizable just for you. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today. This is Sunday Karma on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Sunday Karma across ESPN Wisconsin, YouTube, ESPN Milwaukee, ESPN Madison, ESPN Beaver Dam, ESPN Wisconsin app. Alex Strofe, Greg Scalzo, Kyle Wallace with you. No Craig Carbons today. You can get into the conversation. Call and text at 800-990-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. List is more. Again, 800-990-3776. Kevin chimes in, says if NFL had complete parity, every team should win the Super Bowl every 32 years. Kevin from Washington. It's true.
He's right.
So, like, the Packers have won one in the last 30 years. So they're kind of on track in a world of pure parity. It's not where you want to be if you are going to fancy yourself as a elite organization. And I think that's what the Packers want. That's what I think Packers fans want. Yeah. And quite frankly, that's what I think they're capable of. And, like, you've got this quarterback who I think can be a top 5 quarterback in the league. I don't think he's done enough to have himself cemented in that way quite yet. I think he's talented enough to. You've got a young core of players. You've got elite defender in Micah Parsons. You've got different guys all along this roster that you could see making up the core of a Super Bowl team. And now so much is dependent on Brian Gutekunst filling in the gaps, right? Him solidifying that offensive line, him hitting on some of these round 2 through 7 draft picks that are going to happen this year because you don't have a first-round pick, him navigating the free agent market in terms of who they let go and who they bring in. And I guess I want to hear from you guys, like, where is the confidence level in terms of Goody being able to retool this team and this roster quickly? Because when you look at the money, and that's something that I'm bringing up because of how Jason Wilde talked about that being the focus of this offseason, Rashawn Gary, right, makes a ton of money. Seemingly, he's going to be gone. But you've got, like, 2 of your top 10 guys when you're looking at where your cap is going. And in football, it's not baseball. You can't blow as much money as you want. It's not basketball where as long as you can, afford the first apron or the second apron, you can kind of get away with some bad signings. There is a cap here. 2 of your top 10 guys were just signed last year in the offseason as guys that were supposed to be real difference makers because they're, combined making up over 12% of your entire cap. Right. And that's Nate Hobbs and Aaron Banks.
Yeah, last year was a total miss, and obviously he made up for it a little bit by taking the swing he did at the end of August when he traded for Micah Parsons, and that's a complete difference maker. But your hope is that he can duplicate what he did 2 off seasons ago, signing Xavier McKinney and Josh Jacobs, 2 true star players for this franchise. He was unable to do that last year. This offseason, they're going to find a way to spend money. They're going to find a way, and obviously releasing Elton Jenkins and Rashawn Gary will play a little bit of the role, get you back under the cap and allow you some flexibility to pursue somebody or multiple people in free agency. The thing that worries me the most, 2 things really that worry me the most. Number one is this team frankly lacks star power. Mm-hmm. It just does. And, you feel good about a couple pieces. Obviously, Jordan Love, obviously Micah Parsons, which you just alluded to. And you feel good enough about a couple other pieces. Tucker Kraft, right? If he can come back and be healthy, you think he can be, if not the best tight end in the league, one of the best tight ends in the league. You feel really good about Xavier McKinney at the back end of your defense. That's about it, though. And that's where things worry me. You need more stars if you were going to get to that championship level. The second piece is there are multiple position groups that need complete retooling. You mentioned Nate Hobbs and how much of a flop he was at cornerback. You really don't have a star in that room like you did a couple of years ago with Jair Alexander when he was actually healthy. You don't have a top-end corner. Keyshawn Nixon isn't a number 1 corner. Carrington Valentine isn't a number 1 corner. Nate Hobbs is barely an NFL corner, at least what we saw last year.
See, that's what got you in trouble with Caleb Williams.
The interior defensive line scares me. Devontae Wyatt's a good piece, but that's about it in terms of the interior. And then offensive line, there's a bunch of reshuffling that needs to happen. Is Jordan Morgan your franchise left tackle? I think he can be. We will see if he is. And then the rest of the offensive line. So you got 3 position groups right there. Corner, interior D-line, offensive line, that you're kind of going, all right, we can juggle some pieces, but can we really get that to the next level and it be effective pieces of your team? So lack of star power, position groups that need retooling, and you don't have a first-round pick. That's what makes this offseason so darn crucial for Brian Gutekunst after receiving the contract extension he got this offseason. We'll see if he's able to hit. But he earned the contract extension because, frankly, the Micah Parsons move and nailing the quarterback, you got your 2 most important pieces. You nailed that. That earns you a contract extension after making the playoffs again as the youngest team in the league. But this offseason is super crucial for him.
This offseason is super crucial for him, and I don't know if I would say you nailed the Micah Parsons trade. I think it was the right decision,
sure.
But you went out and you gave up the most in order to get Micah Parsons, which they should have done.
You do that.
It should be celebrated.
Yeah.
But what Goody has done has successfully transitioned away from Aaron Rodgers to Jordan Love, and he deserves all the credit in the world for that. it doesn't earn him a lifetime contract. At some point, you have to decide if you think that guy who made that decision in that moment is also the same guy that can win you a Super Bowl. It's the same thing as a coach that can get you from being a bad team to a playoff team. Pick any sport. There's those guys in the NBA where you know they can get you to be an 8 or a 7 or an 8 seed, right? Mm-hmm. You know in football, hey, this guy's going to win games. Mike Tomlin's a great example. Now, he won a Super Bowl, and I think he's better than people are giving him credit for at this point. But, there are coaches that can get you to be good, that are solid. Mike McCarthy's another example, a guy who's won a Super Bowl. But,
Absolutely.
You don't know if they're at that elite level where they're going to push you to that place where, you can continue to elevate your team, remake your team. They're so confident in their evaluation. They're so confident in the position or the people they put in place. And you go across all the sports, right? You can identify those people. In football, John Schneider's probably one of those people for Seattle. In baseball, go back to the early 2000s with what Red Sox did with Theo Epstein's and bringing Bill James in. Go to what the Dodgers have done with bringing in, their general manager from Tampa Bay and then being willing to resource it. You could go, and one of the things that I think doesn't get resourced enough are those front office positions. It doesn't count against your cap. Why aren't the Packers going out and signing the best possible talent at that executive and scouting level? Because right now, it's not showing up. And I think that's where you start to get yourself in trouble. Now, when you look at the roster makeup, I agree with you in terms of those positional groups that you need help with. I do think that there could be more stars out there, though. I think that wide receiver group isn't there yet.
A good example.
Anybody who, I think everybody's been delusional. I think Packers fans at times can be dishonest with themselves about how good the players on the roster are. They have no elite talent right now in the wide receiver position, but I think you've got two guys that can pop. I think you got Christian Watson who can pop, and I think you got Matthew Golden that could pop.
I agree with you.
But they got to put those guys in a position to pop, and then you've got Jaden Reed who could be a really good slot guy. You've got pieces there, but it also takes an offensive line to give Jordan Love time to be able to go deep on that. And I think that's an important piece of it as well. 800-990-3776. Again, 800-990-3776. We will go to Alan in Milwaukee. Alan, welcome in to Sunday Card.
You got to do it right. Hey, Alan.
What's up, Strofe? Hey, how's it going, y'all? I think far too long, man. I think people have been giving Goody way too much credit for doing the Micah Parsons thing, because that's obvious. If we need to upgrade the wide receiver room, obviously we could go out and sign Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson. But, if you listen to the Super Bowl, Tom Brady was talking about how, Seattle, they don't have one star. They just have four guys who know what they're doing. And their GM went out and found those four guys. But I don't have confidence in Goody to do that because, as a GM, okay, you get one shot at a draft pick, that didn't work out. Okay, try another draft pick, that didn't work out. But then after that, go sign a veteran that knows what the hell they're doing. Why keep wasting time with this draft pick after draft pick? Go get somebody that knows what the hell they're doing. If you think back to when our longtime center.
I would just real quick pause on that, and we'll let you finish the point. But, you actually look at what the Seahawks have in terms of how they've built their roster to win the Super Bowl. They went out and they got out of the Russell Wilson thing a year early, brilliantly, acquired a whole lot of picks, and John Schneider went and hit pick after pick after pick after pick, and they do have a star on offense. His name is JSN, right? Jackson Smith-Njigba. You've got a quarterback that you went out and signed because you had the rest of your roster built. You built your interior offensive line to be maybe the best in the NFL, and they built that defense piece by piece because they had great evaluation, and they ended up nailing pick after pick after pick with the extra picks that they got through trading their quarterback. Now, the Packers got good equity back when they got rid of Rodgers. They just squandered it.
Yeah. And, the thing is, too, when we needed a center back when I think it was Campen who retired, like Bill Belichick, we did bring in Jeff Saturday for a year or two. Older guy who still
Wells.
got something out of him, but at least
who retired.
Yeah, Scott Wells. He wasn't at his prime, but his brain still was. He's still one of the smartest centers in the league who kind of helped that offensive line for a year or two until we found another center that could plug in. Like Belichick used to do. He used to find these veterans, that had 3 years left in the league, and he would use them for 2 years and get rid of them. We don't even do that.
Yeah, I don't disagree. You have to compliment your team, and thank you for the call, Alan. You got to compliment your team building with draft and develop, and you do have to fill spots with certain veterans, and I think that's something that's been missing. That's also, though, what you do when you identify where your windows are. And I do think it's important to say, okay, now it's time for us to be able to bring in this player here or that player here.
Keep that in mind. He doesn't believe in windows.
Great. And you can continue to win 8 to 10 games every year and not be in a position where you're a championship level team.
Look, it's the same guy that a year ago preached urgency, right? Everybody's got to show urgency. And he did that to a point with the trade for Micah Parsons. But now, this offseason, you have to right your wrongs. And Kyle, I know you've talked about this a ton on KBN. Last offseason, Micah Parsons' aside was a failure. It was. Your draft class ranked 32nd in terms of production. According to NFL.com. Your free agent class stunk up the joint. Aaron Banks couldn't stay healthy at left guard. Nate Hobbs couldn't stay healthy and wasn't productive when he was healthy at cornerback. You need to right your wrongs. You need to have a big offseason. You need to make a couple splash moves. Even if they're under-the-radar names, they need to be instant contributors. And obviously you need some of the draft pieces to take that next step in 2026 if you really want to get to that championship potential that I think we all realize the Packers certainly have. They just haven't been able to realize it each of the last 2 years. So that is a big part of what makes this such an intriguing offseason for Brian Gutekunst. He's under the microscope for sure. This is an offseason where you need to go take those swings. And even if he wants to preach he doesn't believe in windows, we're all smart enough to realize the championship window, Pella window, is certainly open for the Green Bay Packers, but you got to capitalize this offseason.
800-990-ESPN, 800-990-3776 on YouTube as well. Chime in, call in, text in. Carble's Talking text line. We will be back with you on Sunday Karma, but first, let's hear from Craig Karmazin on Precision Sports.
Hey, it's Craig Karmazin. When I think about the most important moments of my life, being born, having a bar mitzvah, having a kid, none of them compare to getting my first basketball hoop. And I've done it multiple times with Precision Sports. That's right. They are the experts. They know ball, and they are the ones who can do it. So if you're going to make that life-changing, memorable decision, you're going to put up that hoop, you're going to put up that court, you're going to get the lines done, however you want to do it in the right way with the best. The way I did it, PrecisionSportsOnline.com for a free quote. That's Precision Sports Online, and your jumper is going to be as good as mine in no time.
This is Sunday Karma on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Monica, we've got to hand it to you.
You and the design team have outdone yourselves.
Are you talking about the One Collection?
Those rings say you are the one.
And they say it symbolically.
Describe the symbols.
Every ring in the One Collection should be presented with a special ritual.
What would that ritual be?
You pick up her left hand and you place a kiss on her ring finger.
Rick, you never told me about that part.
Then you show her the tiny red diamond, flush-mounted inside the ring, that will forever be in contact with her finger.
Why is it red?
Because that's when the giver says to the one, wherever you go, my heart goes with you.
I give you this kiss. I give you my heart.
The red diamond is a secret symbol of that sacred moment.
The center diamond on the outside of the ring is for the whole world to see.
But the tiny red created diamond inside the ring is only for the two of them.
The One Collection of engagement rings is available exclusively at Kessler's.
To find the Kesslers nearest you,
visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
The pursuit of fair wages and top-of-the-line benefits is achieved when the right union has your back. The Sheet Metal Workers Labor Union is extremely diverse, representing Wisconsinites working HVAC, architectural metals, welding, specialty fabrication, and much more. Make great living wages with outstanding benefits, pensions, and apprenticeship programs in trained, safe working environments. The Sheet Metal Workers Union is a leading force in the revitalization of the labor movement in Wisconsin.
Homer here from ESPN Milwaukee. What makes living at Three Pillars so special? Let's hear from my friend Dave.
The campus is beautiful. For me, nature is my church, and I love being outside. We live by the Bark River, and it's calming. It just calms my soul. I just love it. A lot of the people, I'm talking about 100-year-old people, 90 years old, say they credit Three Pillars with living longer.
Don't think twice.
Don't let a busted garage door get you down. Call my friends at Geis today. For 70 years, Geis has been the trusted garage door authority in Wisconsin. With brands like CHI and LiftMaster, they have doors for every budget and will even build custom designs to get your exact needs. For swift and reliable garage repair solutions, go to geisdoors.com. That's GEIS doors.com. You can also visit their amazing showroom in Brookfield, featuring hundreds of doors and openers and their custom design room.
Don't think twice. Go Geis.
Did you know Professional Construction Inc. has an in-house team of interior designers? We're excited to bring our expertise to you with our brand new virtual interior design program. Maybe you're not ready for a full construction project, but you are ready to refresh that outdated room. Our PCI design team creates stunning photorealistic renderings, a mood board, and a curated shopping list, all delivered to you in just days.
For all your construction and design needs,
visit professionalconstructioninc.com.
Why DIY your frozen pizza toppings when Screamin' Sicilian already went over the top for you? We're talking whole milk mozzarella, heaps of premium meats, a mountain of veggies. Screamin' Sicilian is frozen pizza stacked, no add-ons needed. Mamma mia! Screamin' Sicilian, so loaded with toppings, it's almost cheating. Find Screamin' Sicilian in your local grocer's freezer section and taste what all the screamin' is about.
I had nightmares at my birth mom's house. It was really scary living there. There were always drugs in the house. The police came, and that's when I was placed into foster care.
Right now in the U.S., more than 100,000 children, like Ariana, are waiting for a family.
Once I was adopted, I definitely felt safe.
Help the Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption find permanent homes for children in foster care. Learn more at davethomasfoundation.org.
Hey, it's Brian Balaga. Find the Homer Hour on the ESPN Wisconsin app today.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The brand new ESPN Wisconsin app. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today.
This is Phase Ed Music.
Sunday Karma across ESPN Wisconsin. Alex Strofe, Greg Scalzo, Kyle Wallace, you. 800-990-3776. Hitting us up at the Carbless Talking text line. On YouTube as well. Of course, stream on the ESPN Wisconsin app. Shout out to Gruber Law Offices. They've been serving the people of Wisconsin for more than 35 years. They are Wisconsin's premier injury firm. You know them. You love them. They support everything here in Wisconsin, in the entire state. Whether it's the home teams, whether it's the festivals that you love, you see Gruber there supporting everything local because they are local. They live here in the community. You go to the games, you see the Gruber family. You go to the events, you see the Gruber family. And when something goes wrong for you, you get into an accident, you have something you never expected in your life and need somebody to help, you want to count on your neighbors. You want to count on somebody who you can trust in the community, and that is the Gruber family and Gruber Law Offices. They are a family firm. They are a winning team. They're all Wisconsin's own. They are Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. Speaking of seeing the Grubers, probably see them at the Bucks game today. Bucks take on, or no, actually it's in Chicago. I'm wrong.
Might still go.
United Center. Bucks taking on the Bulls today, and a pretty eventful week for the Milwaukee Bucks. They got the Bulls in Chicago today. They're at home against the Celtics tomorrow on a back-to-back. Then they, on Wednesday, go ahead and take on the Atlanta Hawks. So this is a team that's won 8 of their last 11. I think a lot of folks could wonder if they should be winning right now or should be playing the lottery balls, but I love seeing this team. I love seeing this team win.
I'm kind of enjoying it,
It's
too.
fun, but it's dangerous.
It is. It is. Look, I don't know what they're doing, to be real honest with you, because if I'm in John Horst's position, for example, I don't know what I'd do either. Because you're trying to appeal to Giannis, right? That's ultimately the end game of all of this, is I want to make Giannis sign the Supermax in October. Yes. That's what you want, right? That is the end game of everything you're doing, every move you're making, every free agent you're signing. What appeals the most to Giannis Antetokounmpo and what makes him stay in Milwaukee for the long run? I think winning without him is good, right? Seeing Cam Thomas come off the street and do what he's been able to do. seeing Jericho Sims evolve and become a big-time player for them. You've got one of the most successful 1-2 punches in the backcourt in the NBA this season in Ryan Rollins and Kevin Porter Jr. They're one of the best duos. And
AJ Green doing his thing.
I'm sorry, you just said what?
They've been one of the most dynamic and successful in terms of statistically backcourts in the NBA 1-2 punches. Ryan Rollins and Kevin Porter.
Over the last month or so,
Yeah. Maybe even longer than that, but yeah. If Giannis is looking at this and saying, okay, maybe we can win. Maybe we can succeed with the group. Maybe John Horst is doing the right thing. Maybe you can win him back over. And that was the importance to me of getting past the trade deadline with Giannis still on the roster is, all right, you bought yourself time. Time is an asset in this scenario. What can you do to appeal to Giannis? Winning cures everything. We hear that all the time in sports. And they've been doing a lot of that without Giannis. Maybe it helps. But to your point on the lottery balls, John Horst has never had a lottery pick. As the general manager of the Milwaukee Bucks, never had a lottery pick.
And it's a loaded draft. So we'll see, again, at Chicago today. That's a 2:30 tip.
Chicago stinks. They've lost 11 in a row. They've lost 14 of their last 15.
Because they know what they're trying to do.
Exactly. They've picked
There's a lot of teams that are tanking right now.
They've picked a lane. The Milwaukee Bucks have not. And that's I don't know if that's a bad thing when it comes to Giannis.
We'll come back, do some Palermo's picks, all about Alex Stroh's workout this afternoon with Kyle Wallace. That's next, Sunday Karma.
You're listening to Sunday Karma on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app. Kyle Bruston Northman.
We need the final end here.
Oh, okay. Screw you, Ben Bruss.
KBN.
Brian Gutekunst has mapped out his best offseason of his entire career. I've been thinking about roster development lately and what Goody has in store for him. And I don't see any way this team can become a title contender unless Goody has the best offseason of his whole career.
Kyle Bruston Northman. Afternoons from 2 to 5 on 94.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Your taste buds are in luck. The Reuben is back at Cousin Subs. Try this classic sub grilled to order just for you. Stacked with corned beef, Wisconsin Swiss cheese, and sauerkraut topped with Thousand Island dressing and served on rye bread. And our delicious mint shake is back. Both the Reuben and mint shake can be ordered via the Cousins app or online for a limited time only. Cousin Subs. We believe in better.
You asked and Carbless delivered. The fan favorite grapefruit flavor now has its own 4-pack all to itself. That bold, bright, perfectly balanced citrus taste that you've been pulling from the variety pack, it's now front and center in 4 cans, 1 box. Crisp, refreshing, not too sweet, and nothing else has changed. 0 sugar, 0 carbs, just 100 calories and gluten-free. Clean ingredients and big flavor. Always no compromises. Grab the new Carbless grapefruit 4-pack wherever you get your Carbless and find a location near you at drinkcarbless.com. Carbless, bold flavor in every sip.
Imagine working with a contractor that quits halfway through a project or never calls you back when you have questions, or worse, takes your money and you never see them again. Unfortunately, we hear about them all the time. Hi, this is Eric Brown, owner of Siding Unlimited, and Siding Unlimited is absolutely not that company. Siding Unlimited has been doing business for 32 years, proving to be an honest, ethical, and forthright company. If you're looking for the honest guys for your next siding, windows, roofing, and doors project, stop by sidingunlimited.com today.
Start your Milwaukee weight loss program now to lose weight fast. Many lose 20 to 30 pounds in a month or two. Call for your free consultation. 262-235-3980. 262-235-3980 or online at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com.
Results may vary.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Game Night Show for Events by Design. Events like appreciation parties and retreats can go a long way towards boosting morale and retaining top talent. Events by Design is your go-to creative partner for employee events that truly make an impact. They help leaders retain top talent by making their people feel seen, valued, and celebrated. The creative team at Events by Design does all the planning and production, making sure things not only look great, but also work. Make a smart investment in your culture today. Search online, Events by Design. They design, you party.
Hi, this is Michelle Voskel, CPA and team member at the Neal Group. Well, here we are. It is 2026. Remember last year when you said never again? Did it work? You didn't start your business to spend lots of time doing bank reconciliations, cash flow projections, or inventory analysis. Let us help you keep your New Year's resolution to stay on top of your finances and keep your books up to date. Don't do the same thing this year and expect different results. Start the year off on the right foot by calling the Neal Group to help you understand your numbers and make them better. You earned it. We help you keep it. Call 414-325-2040 now to set up a meeting to see how you can make 2026 the best year ever. The first meeting is free. That's 414-325-2040 or visit us at nealgroup.net. That's NEAL group.net.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year.
For over 50 years, Covenant House has been helping youth in crisis. To learn more, go to covenanthouse.org today.
See the best of ESPN Milwaukee by subscribing to our YouTube channel.
What the hell happened to your hair?
What do you mean?
Yeah, the front is fine, but you look like Lloyd Christmas in the back. Right there, just stay still. Oh my God, YouTube.
ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube. It's that time.
Yes, it's finally here.
Craig makes his picks of the week.
You can bet the house on it.
Picks of the week on Sunday Karma with Craig Karmazin. Presented by Palermo's Pizza, Wisconsin's hometown pizza.
Can't wait to see what happens next.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Sunday Karma back with you across ESPN Wisconsin. Kyle Wallace, Alex Strofe, myself, Greg Scalzo. You calling, texting on the Carbless Talk text line 800-990-3776. Less is more with Carbless. Less is more maybe for Alex Strofe, because maybe you're going to try to lift a little bit less today.
Yeah.
But maybe you're going to try to do a little bit more.
Right.
For those who are wondering why we're talking about it, there's about 10 million views on Twitter.
10 million?
Across the combine videos for Strofe today, largely centered around his inability to lift weights above 75 pounds when it comes to the bench press.
Are you embarrassed for me?
Am I embarrassed for you?
Yeah. Are you ashamed of me? I guess would probably be the
No, I'm not ashamed of you. I love the fact that you're willing to put yourself out there like that. And I think that if you're going to treat it like a wake-up call, it could be a really healthy thing. You know how I think about this stuff. I believe in healthy bullying. I believe in productive bullying.
You do.
If you're a better person today than you were
on
a
great boss, might I add.
If you're a better person today than you were on Wednesday, then that's a good thing, even if you had a little bit of embarrassment.
Are you familiar with my mottos? Ben Brust often makes fun of me. So does Kyle. I have a lot of mottos I live by. You know one of them for sure.
Self-awareness is the most important quality.
Bingo. Yeah, that's one of them.
Yeah.
He lacks that.
The world needs more love. That's one of mine. How do you feel about that one?
The world needs more love. Yeah, I guess I could go with it. I think it's like too much what you'd put on a postcard and doesn't really mean anything.
That's me, though.
Yeah, but there's no substance to it.
I lack substance sometimes. My other one is, this is the one they've been making fun of me for the most recently. Kyle, do you know the acronym?
Get better.
That's not an acronym. The acronym.
GBED.
GBED. Mm-hmm. Get better every day.
Did you get better yesterday?
No, you got worse.
I probably not.
Yeah.
Probably
Self-awareness.
Not. Probably not.
Those two things are going to work against each other for you sometimes, aren't they?
They often do.
Yeah.
You often make fun of me. You say I lack self-awareness.
I think oftentimes you do. Yeah. But as long as you get better every day at it, Strofe, that's all that matters.
So once again, I ask, are you ashamed of me?
No, I'm not ashamed of you.
Because of my lack of self-awareness occasionally.
Now, I would say I was disappointed that you didn't work out with Will yesterday. I literally threw my hands up and said, this kid is
I don't need to be ashamed of you in any way. I'm proud of you in so many ways, but I'm still going to tell you exactly what I think about you.
I care about your opinion more than most people on the planet.
Wow, that's pretty honorable. I appreciate that.
It's not saying much. He tells that to a lot of people.
Kyle, do you think I care more about Scalz's opinion or yours?
I mean, I'm not your boss. If I was your boss,
I actually don't even think it's a boss dynamic.
100%.
I really don't. I've respected Greg since the moment I met him.
Yeah, I think Strofe's only going to keep getting better, Kyle. That's it. Let's hope. I hope you guys go to the gym together today. Strofe, Kyle, if you do, how many reps is Strofe going to get up on the bench?
Oh, he's not doing the bench.
I'm not
because I ain't gonna
on
say
chest, whatever.
On chest, he won't get through 3 sets of 15. 100%.
All right.
He'll stop.
No, I won't.
My arms hurt.
My arms do hurt, but I'm pushing through it. I'm pushing through the pain. Get better every day.
Well, he's trending on Twitter right now, Alex Strofe is ESPN host bench press fail fuels sports credibility debate. It's the title of the streaming of the Twitter trending piece right now. So sports credibility debate, that's what you've spurred. Big shout out to Palermo's Pizza. Looking for a pizza that rises to the occasion? Try Palermo's Rising Crust, now on sale for just $4.99 at Festival Foods. That's through March 3rd. Thick, fluffy crust with a soft inside and crispy edge. Big, crowd-pleasing flavor at a family-friendly price. Find Palermo's Rising Crust in the frozen aisle at Festival Food while this deal lasts. Kyle, send us out.
Peace.
This is ESPN Wisconsin and ESPNWisconsin.com.
Life's better with American